It is He Said, She Said, episode 2.
Two.
You got Jay and Whitney here. We go by Dr. Jay, Dr. Whitney, and our clinic, The Wellness Connection. So we have been working together, and in most years, 17 years-ish, side by side. 6 to 10 feet apart, adjusting patients, trying to agree on things in the office, trying not to bring it home and fight about it. Yeah.
Yeah, that usually works.
You're right. Not at all. We've been married 15 years. And, last video I said we made it past the 7-year itch, but our itch was like 9, 10, 11. That was a tough part of our marriage. And we've gotten to the other side of it, which is what's kind of sparked or created this He Said, She Said, because we really want to share what we've done in a fun, inspiring way to get past it. I mean, we're parents of 4 kids. We are part-time taxi drivers. We are health and fitness nuts. We actually have hobbies, things we like.
Too many hobbies, probably.
And it's a juggle, right? Like it's never perfect. It's never perfectly in balance. We're always just trying to figure out creative ways to not be crappy parents and still live life and keep ourselves healthy. That's the hardest part.
And I'm really psyched that Whitney wanted to bring this to the forefront, because I just really believe that you're not alone out there. I've said this many times to friends, family, patients, videos I put out there. It's like, you're not alone. Like, what you're going through in life is tough. And this epidemic, pandemic, whatever case may have you, has only made things that much more intense, because you're forced to look at stuff that's not working, whether your health, your finances, your spiritual health, your relationships, etc. We've gone through some tough times, but we fought for it, and we continued to stay in the grind, and knowing that what we committed to each other, to under God, meant something. And so we continued to fight for that, to hustle for that.
And we've had help. So
yeah, we have.
I said last episode, again, we're not marriage counselors, but we have had so many insights, help through personal development work, the Tony Robbins experience. Jay's done Warrior for Men. He literally went through like a Navy SEALs boot camp type of thing. We've had different life coaches, different spiritual leaders in our church and in our faith. We've had a ton of freaking help.
Yeah.
And through that we've learned a lot. And I think that's maybe what makes us different. We sought and asked for help early on. So this is a fun way to pay it back and pay it forward. And we encourage you, do this with your partner, do this with your spouse. After you watch this, last week Jay was the deer in headlights, and this week I'm gonna be the deer in headlights. So it's gonna be She Said first, meaning one of us on the spot. Yes, we promise we are not rehearsing this. One of us gets to ask the other person a question, and it's going to be related around either health or relationships. And so Jay knows the question this week. I came up with the question last week, so he is going to put me on the spot first.
Okay, so this is around health or personal development, or around spiritual growth. So what is the one ritual? What is the one ritual that I have done since you've known me, that initially you thought that was either stupid or annoyed you, but you now actually use that same ritual or habit in your life because it produces results?
Oh my gosh, in our world we call it the stack. And he will literally, then this is my answer, and you may have thought I would.
Well, hold on. I'll copyright aside. Like this idea of the stack is something I got from Warrior, so I didn't create this.
But what's funny and annoying about it is sometimes he'll disappear for like an hour, and I'm like, man, that's a long coffee break. Like, he's gone, he's out.
That's a long bathroom break.
He's in the sauna, he's with his chair, with his headphones on, ignoring the chaos all around him. I know he can hear me like screaming my lungs out at the kids or trying to get out the door. But what he's doing is, sometimes they're longer sessions, sometimes they're shorter, but he's using this journaling technique to get the rage out, to really just like pull it out. What the heck is bothering him? And then how can he flip that and see how it's serving him, or how he moves on from it in a positive way. And so
but are you using that? That was the question.
Yeah. So am I using that? Yes. So I'm using, now I don't use the app. I use a journal. And how I started doing it is I write at the top of my journal. I don't get to it every day, to be honest with you, like he does. He's awesome. But what I do is I write what did I do my best on today? And then the next sentence down, I write, what can I work on? And it's usually what can I work on is the thing that's like stinging me, that I'm like, dang it, 10 things went good, but this one thing went bad. And that's just really burning me right now. And I just got to get to that one. I got to handle it. What's the emotion behind it? Why am I raging? And then what can I do about it? And how do I move on? So that's my technique.
I think real quick, just on that, just from the journaling standpoint, is we all have emotions, right? And so whether it be in a future video, we'll talk about what I call the dog running out emotion, right? So there's always an emotion that's triggered by something, whether it be the kids, the wife, the patients, the practice, the money, you name it, life. But it's there's actually something behind it that if you don't uncover, it owns you. And so it's not what's really going on in front of you that's really pissing you off. It's something else behind it. And that's what stacking and journaling and things of that nature allow us to do.
So I would say from a she said standpoint, I either journal or I just come to him. I'm like, I got to get it out. And he just says, do you want me to listen or do you want me to coach you? And I'm like, listen. And then I just, right? Okay.
Right.
So he said,
okay.
I kind of gave it away. But
all right. So again, the question was, what ritual or habit do you have that I initially was annoyed with, didn't like, but now I use myself? 100% meditation. You don't understand, like when we first got together, I was just kind of grew up in a household, and my mom did the best job she could, and same with my dad, and I'm so appreciative. But we got up, everything was gone. Like we were going 1,000 miles an hour, right? And there's a lot of energy with that, and I just took that into college, chiropractic school, you name it. And it wasn't until I started her morning routine where I would walk by and she'd be sitting with a cup of tea with no lights, reading a book with calm music in the background. And I'm like, what are you doing? What a waste of time. Let's get moving. We got to go. But that took a while for it to actually grow on me. And I started to recognize that there was real beauty and peace in starting your day out with beauty and peace. So that is definitely a ritual that now is non-negotiable for me. Every day I start my day off with silence and quietude and at least 5 minutes, even on crazy busy days. Like it has to happen just to center me. And that was something that I fought for years. It was a ritual that she had that was served her, but I was like, this is stupid. And then I was like, okay, this isn't stupid. This actually is really helpful. And so, yeah, that was it. So I appreciate that. Thanks for sharing that with me.
Right. Oh my gosh, he'd had all the lights on, ESPN going. Right. And I would have my own. I had my own room. We lived with his aunt and uncle when we first started practice, and I just did my thing. And now it's evolved to where, like I said, he'll disappear for an hour, been doing his journaling and his meditating. I'm like, man, I got 5 minutes in. He got an hour in. So it's all good. I think yin and yang, we do that throughout the week and we get enough in. Maybe it's not every day and maybe it's not perfect, but we have those moments in time to either journal, get the rage out, or do some meditation.
And because if you don't as well, like who's a go-to? Right? Like, where do you point all the anger and the rage at, right? I point at, it's so crazy, right? Yeah. Like you point on the people that matter the most when you don't get it out, right? So I'm great for the patients, I'm great for my staff, but what happens? Like her and the kids get the brunt of it, right? Yes. So it's important, you gotta get that out. You've gotta get that out.
So he said, she said, what you can ask again, your partner, your spouse, is what do you do that allows you to create some space in your world? What do you do, even if it drives me crazy? And maybe it's hunting in the woods. Maybe it's something else. What do you do that drives me crazy that ultimately gives you some space and allows you to process life? Because otherwise, it's probably going to be taken out somewhere else. So have fun with that. Give us some feedback, and we'll see you for episode 3 next week.
All right, take care, guys.